Classic chat. I think if I ever do get that capture card, there's so many like old Nintendo games I want to play, especially on a night like tonight. Kirby's Dream Land just sounds like, man, that'd be a blast. But we are playing another not quite Nintendo game, but for our purposes it is. Tonight, which I really like, and we're gonna see how I do because it might be really bad. I'm not sure yet. Um, it's one of those games that I'm very good at getting right up to the very end of, and then not ever beating the boss. So wish me luck. But hey, tonight we're playing Mega Man X. So let's go ahead and jump in.
Mega Man X Legacy Collection. Mega Man X.
All right. Man, I could use that kind of RAM in my computer. Admittedly, that might be a little excessive. I probably don't need quite that much. Hopefully everyone's doing well on this late Saturday night. Oh no. Should have put a photosensitivity warning up. I don't think it's generally too bad, and this isn't bad, but that kind of pulsing. CW. Photosensitivity. Warning. Okay. Just a little update. 100% not going to be able to read this fast enough. I think ultimately, chat, we are Mega Man. We have to take down some rogue robots is what it boils down to, I believe. I think that's the short version of the story. But get ready to enjoy some awesome SNES era music. I want to make sure. Gross. Okay. I think it was sort of configured for like Switch Pro controller. Because I was playing around with it a little earlier just to make sure everything was mapped the way I was hoping it would be. Oh, that's so much better. Except that my buttons are not mapped properly. Alright. We're gonna try that one more time, chat. Oops. So I thought I had that all set. If I don't play the way that I'm used to in terms of like, the layout of the SNES controller, is gonna be a bad time for everybody. There we go. I think that's better. And of course I'm using a PlayStation controller, but at least, the leftmost button is fire. The bottom one is jump. The right hand one is dash once we get that ability. And when I was playing earlier, I could not get the D-pad to work. It was all on the analog stick, which was not the worst thing in the world, but thankfully I got the D-pad is working now, so it feels pretty comfortable all in all. I love... This was one of those, like, just incredible games to play when it came out, and I didn't play it exactly when it came out. I played it a few years later, but just the tightness of the controls are really good compared to like the old, because I didn't play a whole lot, but I played some of the old NES ones. That slowdown that they suffered from was a real problem. And this has a little bit, but it's not nearly on that same level. So, much better frame rate, really good stereo sound if you had a system for it. The music is really good. They really took advantage of having the higher quality sound output, that Sony chip, as well as multiple audio channels. The effects are really well done. The animations are really just clever and well thought out. And they really try to, in this very first level, show off all the cool little tricks that they've been doing. Big fan. And I never played 2, so I'm hoping when we sometime soon we'll get a chance to play X2, and that'll be a first for me. I did play X1 and X3. And 3 is not bad at all, but I'm much less familiar with it, and it's been a long time since I played it. So that was kind of silly. But we might do X3 as well, and I've never beaten X3. I think I got to the final boss and just could not take him down. And we're not speedrunning this or anything, chat, so I'm gonna go ahead and just see how long I can hold out here against Vile, but this is a scripted loss. You cannot defeat him here. He will always win this fight. There's nothing you can do about it. worthless piece of scrap metal. Did you think you could defeat me? Everyone's favorite character. I guess I'm not powerful enough to defeat him. X, you shouldn't expect to defeat him. He is designed to be a war machine. Remember, you have not reached full power yet. Use all the abilities you were designed with. You should become stronger. May even become stronger than I am. I'll scout ahead and collect as much information on Sigma's fortress as I can. I'll meet up with you when you get there. See you later. X, I know you can do it. Alright. But all in all, just a great game. It's always fun to watch, like, this is one of my favorites to watch speedrunners do. I'm often just amazed at what they do in general, but, you know, especially those games that you have an attachment to, those, at least for me, have always been the funnest ones to watch because, you know, how hard it was going through them as a kid, you know, or maybe even as an adult, depending on how old they are and when you played them for the first time. And then just watching someone go through it like they're barely even having to focus is just an incredible thing to watch. But I don't have the patience for it. And I think I've talked about it before. My brother and I we've talked about, like, if we were ever to do speedrunning, what would be a game that we'd want to try out. But, like, watching people practice, I just, you know, do not have the patience for it. But on that note, this one is one that I would think about doing. I'm not good at it, but I feel like I could probably become good at it. He says, unable to make this easy jump. I'm getting hit by every enemy he sees. But my fear too is that it would also ruin the game for me, and I won't want to do that. So you've come. X, I gave you the ability to choose your own path in life. And I hoped the world would allow you to choose a peaceful one. But now it seems that you are destined to fight. Because I thought the world might need a new champion. I have hidden capsules like this one. If you find and use them, you will be able to increase your powers beyond anything the world has ever known. Step into this capsule and receive an acceleration system to boost your speed. Good luck, X. I know in the past we've often not worried about 100%ing games. This one, if I'm going to try to beat it, I probably will, just because that'll give me the best opportunity to actually defeat Sigma, because he's tough, I would say. At least I'm quite bad at fighting him. We'll be getting the Hadouken as well, just because we can and because it's kind of fun. Although I'm going to not cheese the final boss. I'm going to try to win that fight legit. And we might split it into 2 segments, I'm not quite sure. It's not a super long game, but I'm kind of tired, so we might go halfway through it. Do the rest of it next week. That was silly. Jerk face! Hope all is good. I'm dropping a lurk before I go to sleep. Hope the stream goes well. Thanks so much for dropping in, even for a lurk. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. Just tired. It's been a long day, but good to see you in. I also love the dancing roach. One of my favorite gifts in the whole wide world. I think everyone's sleeping tonight, huh? Yeah, I would not be surprised or blame them. Oh, there we go. That was kind of my fault. Also kind of dumb on my point, or my part there. Yikes. Chat. I'm tired. There we go. Got him though. Oh, he's the easiest one to start off with. Now the question is, can I remember who's weak against what? I think I can. I actually have played this. So I have an SNES Mini or Classic or whatever the heck it's called. And this is on there and is probably one of the games I've played the most on it. That and Earthbound. Both high on my list of favorites. This is one that's just a lot of fun to kind of pick up and play. At least for me. This is one of those really great themes from this game. Stop. This guy always gives me a little bit of trouble, but I'm gonna hope that I can do well tonight. I don't usually play a game too much before streaming it. And especially if it's one I haven't played. But I played this one a bunch, so I actually did spend just a couple minutes with it this afternoon, kind of setting up, and I did go a couple levels in. And I found that I did better with this guy than I have in the past. So normally I wait till I have what he's weak against to actually come here, but that wasn't too bad. For those who don't know Mega Man very well, or at all, the idea is that more or less you have a set of levels to complete, each one with a boss. In this one, you know, they're heavily themed to the area that they're part of. And, trying not to do that. Come on. Yeah, we're just gonna scoot past this nonsense. Anyway, so you have these robot masters that have a level that you have to defeat to progress, and each one has a power that you obtain at the end of the level. Man, I got this like on my first try this afternoon when I was playing around. There we go. And every robot master is weak against one other's ability. So my strategy's always been pick one that I can generally defeat without too much frustration. In this case, it's the penguin. And then go to the robot master that is weak against that one's power, which is this level's. So, but I don't always do that. There's been, you know, over the years I've been playing a little bit more and experimenting and getting a little bit. I feel bad saying like better at this game. I'm not sure I'm better at this game, but you know, more familiar with it and a little bit better at recognizing the boss patterns. So sometimes I've been experimenting a little bit with, you know, playing outside of the box that I'm most comfortable with. But in this case, why not go ahead and just hop into it, right? So you can see that this guy, each of these hits is doing a lot of damage. And not only that, but it's freezing him momentarily. You get Electric Spark. You know, but as I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, we're not going to do it completely in order. The next would be this one. I'm going to go ahead and jump here because I want to upgrade my suit. The music in this is so great. Absolutely love how many of the robots that you, like just these little enemies, when they explode, just like pieces fly everywhere. It's so cool. So, the astute observer may notice that I failed. Oops. That I failed as he falls off the cliff. The astute observer may notice that I did not get a heart power up in the first level. You need to have the fire ability to get that one, so we'll be backtracking. Airport 1001. Unless it's in binary, in which it would be airport number 9. I had a friend growing up who, and I think I mentioned this on a previous stream, but we would occasionally trade game consoles. And at Sega, I had a Sega Genesis and the Sega CD, and he had a Super Nintendo and an N64, and so we'd swap, and sometimes I'd borrow SNES, and sometimes I'd borrow his N64, and when I would borrow a Super Nintendo, this is one of the games that I would always like, hey, can I borrow Mega Man X? So, played this one a fair amount on his copy, and in fact, it's one of the games that, you know, despite how much I love it, and I effectively have several digital copies of it now, I never actually owned a hard copy of it. This capsule contains an enhancement for your helmet, which will allow you to break some ceilings with a headbutt. This is probably the least useful ability, in my opinion, because all it really does is give you the ability to, well, do this. Which, not necessarily useful, except that there's several items that are locked behind those. So, yeah, kind of the most useless of the armor upgrades in a lot of ways. I guess it looks kind of neat. Give Mega Man a little diadem. Well, that was kind of bad. And sort of lucky. And I will take it. I love that effect. Alright. Usually these days I've gotten pretty good at Storm Eagle. He doesn't usually give me too much grief, but we'll see how I do, chat. I don't actually have the thing that he's weak to. Not yet, anyway. But that's fine. He's not, they're not terribly hard to take down. Got him. Look pretty clean fight. Oh, chat, you'll be proud of me. I actually have water here. I can hydrate. Alright, Mega Man, get the heck out of there. That place is coming down. You get Storm Tornado. Like I said, we'll do this effectively a little out of order because, of course, you know, really any order is fine. This guy, Flame Mammoth, is in fact weak against Storm Eagle's ability, that little tornado thing. And this level is significantly easier as well since we oh, I forgot something in Storm Eagles. Crud. That's alright, we can go back later. This, after you beat the, I can't think of his name, but after you beat the penguin, this level becomes, like, all the lava gets frozen over. Makes it a lot easier. Okay. Here's the tough part, chat. Can he do it? How many tries is it gonna take? Oh, that wasn't bad. Can he? Oh, yes! Got it, got it, got it. Oh my gosh. That was good. That wasn't too bad. Normally that takes me a lot longer. Capsule contains an upgrade which will increase the capabilities of your X Blaster. You can use it to fire all types of weapons. So this gives me a third charge, and this also allows me to charge all of my special abilities. So, very good upgrade to have. So there was my third, and then, you know, stuff like this, where in the past I just had a single shot, now I have a charge version of everything, so very cool. Very nice upgrade to have. But yeah, normally this is lava that's, you know, you can't really traverse, but since we've done that level, it's frozen over. I like how these guys chuckle if you get hit by their little pickaxes that they launch at you. Okay, there's one more thing to pick up here. We'll take him down a little bit first. So there's a energy container, like a backup energy container in Storm Eagle's level that we missed. Oh, nerds. That wasn't great. It's about halfway through the level. But we'll go back for it. Well, so much for doing well here, Cat. There we go. Alright, this time I'm going to take this little guy out first. If I can. There we go. One of these is in Storm Eagle's level. There we go. Little janky, but... Now if we're at full health, any health that we gain will go into an excess tank, which doesn't do a full restore if it's full, but I think it does like a 2/3 restore. It's definitely nice to have. And I suspect we'll make pretty quick work of Flame Mammoth here. I like these robots who are like firing lasers at me. Their final act is to try to take me down. I need a better hobby, I would say. This is probably gonna sound kind of dumb, but this freaking like acid that comes from the sky, just a menace. There. Don't even want to bother with it. Just sit past, go to the boss. There we go. Boot all you want, buddy. There we go. Conveyor belt changes direction when it toots. You get fire wave. Alright, cool beans. So we'll make a quick stop over the penguin level. And we'll go get that heart container. watch me die on my way because I'm not fighting anything. Being really sloppy. There we go. Well, that was kind of goofy. A little goofy. Yeah, no, the music in this is pretty great, I'd say. Even this one, which isn't like one of my favorites, is still just really good. Actually, yes, there we go. Wasn't sure if I needed to go around to do that. Yeah. And that's good. We don't need to stick around. We have our heart container. The only thing I wish is I had like a little marker to tell you that you picked up the thing. So we're gonna go back to Storm Eagle. Get that energy tank before I forget it. We have our heart container. Like I said, normally I wouldn't worry about 100%ing. I feel like if I want to have any chance of beating Sigma, I do need to in this. And it's not a lot of backtracking, thankfully. Cool. I did actually remember while we were going through the levels, like, now don't forget to myself that there's an energy tank here. And then I probably distracted myself with some story I was telling. There it is, chat. Just because I can, I'm going to blow out the windows in this because I think it's cool. Alright, we got our 2 energy tanks. We've got all of our heart containers that we can get up to this point. Yes, let's do Armadillo next here. Armored Armadillo. I cannot remember what the penguin is, which is why I keep saying the penguin guy. So, but since there's some alliteration here, I'm just going to say his name is Pretty Cold Penguin. Oh, it's Chill Penguin, isn't it? Okay, I just remembered. Admittedly, I kind of like my idea of Pretty Cold Penguin. It's another one of those reserve tanks. Alright, chat, ready? Absolutely obliterated. I do not have to kill that. However, I really wanted to. Polar Penguin. I like it for Palio. You didn't care for Pretty Cold Penguin? Didn't feel that was a good enough name for him. I like how it digs through the wall here, and if you're wondering why I killed it, because there's a heart container, and if you don't get it in time, then you'll knock down the edges here, so you can't actually leap up to get that, so... Pretty Cold Penguin isn't doing it. Alright, I can take a hint. I absolutely love just going through here and obliterating things with the front of that minecart. It pummels through them with a spike. Okay, weirdly, this guy always gives me a little bit of grief, even with the weapon that helps. So when you zap him, his armor falls off here. And now he's vulnerable, even when he's bouncing around. Ow! Just slugged out. Rigid penguin, perhaps. Propalio, perhaps penguins proceed. Pickled. It's my, yeah, got rolling shield. I'm just gonna stop. My brain's overheating trying to think of any more alliteration that makes any sort of sense. Peculiarly, yeah, exactly that. That's what I was thinking too. Alright. Yeah. Periwinkle. Right. Exactly. Launch octopus. Outrageous octopus. Octagonally outrageous octopoda. Launchtopus. Octagonal oblivious octagonal occipital octopus. I realize I'm just kind of tanking damage here. These fish don't actually hurt you. But what they will do is they'll carry you over a spike pit so that when you break through them, you die. Oh, gracious, just like that. Huh. Chat, that really sucked. See what I did there? Because this is kind of sucking at me there. Did it? Oh no, are you kidding me? What a lark. Goodness sake, chat. What kind of nonsense is going on with this? Oh my gracious. Are you kidding me? How many lives do I have left? Oh my gosh. What is happening? I have 3 whole lives. Thank goodness for that. You know what? You know what, chat? We're gonna be back here. In fact, just blast it with. I can't use fire underwater. I can't. Well, that didn't work either. All right. Okay, we're gonna try this. I don't know if that's the. Oh, now it's. Oh my. Stop it. Nope. Come on. Are you kidding me? Why is this so bad, chat? Oh, that was way harder than it should have been. That was pretty ridiculous. Okay, that guy does. Alright, there's nothing up there really. But we do want to go up here and not into that spike pit. There we go. We're gonna sink the boat. No more spike pits for me, thanks. Absolutely love the extra, like, detail put into, like, making that articulate in that way. You know, I've said it a lot of times with games, but sometimes it's really the little touches. And having it look and move so smoothly was really made that a cool fight. Or just like a throwaway kind of mini boss, you know? We got another one of them. Just watching an explosion trail up the body, the head separating before the rest of the body coming down. Little touches, chat. Let that be a lesson to you. If you're ever developing a game. Okay, I believe it's the rolling shield for this guy. He's kind of tough in general, so we'll see how I do. Well, we have our recharge tank, so we're going to use it, chat. Got him. Little touches really add a bunch to games and other media. Yep. Yep. You get homing torpedo. Okay. This one was always that, what's up with this guy's name? Boomer Kuwanger. But if my understanding is correct, it is a mistranslation. And that Kuwanga is a type of beetle. So Boomer Beetle would be a more accurate name. So I have heard anyway. Quanger's my favorite animal, right? Me too. Oh, you got me a Kuwanger plushie for my birthday. How did you know? Little geckos on the railing, or the ladders rather. Wham, 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 wham. Another very, very good song. Though admittedly, again, hard pressed to find a bad one in this game. so we're gonna try to get the heart container on here so we don't have to backtrack. But I don't think I'm gonna get it because it is a very hard trick. If you are extremely precise and extremely lucky, you can just clip that edge. And we're just gonna do it for like a couple seconds here. I've done it before. Otherwise, we're gonna have to come back with the ability of the robot here. I don't think it's happening. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste our time. Because at a certain point, it's easier to backtrack. And admittedly, though, I've caught that edge a couple times practicing, like in the last few years. I don't think I've actually gotten that jump since I was a little kid and played this a little too obsessively. But that was just kind of silly. Oh, you little silly thing. There we go. Okay, we'll see how this goes. This might be a little bit of a tricky one. Yeah. That was sort of what I was afraid of. But that's okay. We have lives, so we'll restart here. Going in with full health is a good thing for this guy. He moves really quickly and does a lot of damage. But his weakness are missiles that track him. His weakness is being shot in the face. Alright, so we're going to do a little backtrack and go get the boomerang cutter. Or rather, use the boomerang cutter to get the heart container. And then there's one more backtrack we need to do, and then we don't need to backtrack for the rest of the game. Yeah, we'll start here, and then we'll do the other one. But we are hitting kind of an hour. I'm really tired, chat, so what I think I'm going to do is I want to kind of 100% this, and then call it for the night. And what we'll do is then, because all the item collection progress, oh, screw this guy, I'm not doing this that way. Happens before the final battles. So what we'll do here is we'll collect all the items, and then I'll probably save and quit for the night, and we'll come back to this next Saturday to finish it. Haha. Best viewers. Thank you for that quick ban hammer, Papalio. Much appreciated. I say it already. I've said it many a time already, but I'll say it again. I already got the best viewers. There we go. Very good. Keeping an eye out for those troublemakers. Thankfully, backtracking isn't too bad. Again, we're not speedrunning, so who cares? Come on, little guy. There we go. My tiredness is showing, yeah. Me trying to take out Sigma like this is probably gonna end real bad. Because really, it's everything up into that final fight that I can do. Have done 100 million times. Well, that was silly. Still silly. There we go. I have more health than the power gauge. Okay, so there's one backtrack. One thing I appreciate too is that the levels you beat affect the other levels. So we saw that by beating Chill Penguin's level, that Flame Mammoth over here, his lava's all cooled off. Um, by beating the Launch Octopus, the chameleon level, which we haven't seen, will be slightly flooded. And since we beat Storm Eagle, Spark Mandrill here, that ship of his that we took down has crashed into this. And so now there's blackouts and damage that have occurred. Okay. Thankfully the backtrack here is relatively minor. So this should go really, really quick. Okay, we have all 4 sub-tanks. It's missing 1 heart piece, 1 armor upgrade, 1 piece of heart, 1 armor upgrade, and 1 boss to defeat before we can proceed to Sigma's level. Before we can get on his level, Sting Chameleon. I always remember this one being the hardest when I was a kid, but I think our friend Boomer Wanger is probably the hardest in my opinion. You can see these pools of water that would not be here if we hadn't done Launch Octopus first. So I'll be dry. Alright, let's go get that heart piece first. And in fact, I don't know that you can, at least not easily get... Oh shoot, that was dumb. That was real dumb. Can't get the heart piece here easily. Without flooding the level first. That was close. Thought you said Stink Chameleon. I mean, hey man, you can call him whatever you want. Right. We have a mini boss here. If I remember correctly, I think this is weak against? Maybe I'm misremembering. What is he weak against? Is he weak against anything? Huh. Well, he's certainly not weak against that. Well, I need the cutter for the boss of this level, so I don't think I'm going to waste it on that. We'll just do this the old-fashioned way. I don't die on this guy. He's mostly just annoying. He has like a billion hit points, it feels like. Eventually he'll start smoking. He'll start vaping real hard at us. And then we'll know he's about ready to throw in the towel. There we go. For those who have watched One Piece, he'll be like Smoker or whatever at the beginning, who like is what, chomping on like 2 cigars at a time. I like the 4 Kids version of One Piece, where he's just belching out smoke for unexplainable reasons all the time. I was actually a little disappointed. It's like, oh, he's just chomping cigars. I liked him better when he was just belching smoke. There we go. Here we go, last armor piece. This capsule contains a new type of body armor. It will reduce damage to your system by 50%. This would have been helpful in a few other cases. Previous levels, perhaps. There we go, chat. Look at this. We only have 1 life left. Yeah, whatever. I feel like that's one of the only edits that makes sense, since this devil fruit is a smoke fruit, so him breathing out smoke constantly is totally within reason. Yeah, hard agree. Alright, and unfortunately, chat, we have 2 cigars is very funny, though. It is. We have reached the end of my One Piece knowledge. I was watching the 4 Kids dub before Funimation took over, and because it was what was on Toonami. If anyone is like, why would you watch that? That's what Toonami had. I watched a lot of Toonami growing up, and or whatever it was called, because it might not have been Toonami anymore at that time. It might have been like, what, Saturday Night Anime or something. Either way, it is unimportant. But I watched up to as far as I think 4 Kids got, which was the Crocodile Saga. And then I stopped because they changed, 4 Kids. I don't remember if 4 Kids lost the license or if they had lapsed at that point or what. But for whatever reason, what happened, and Funimation took over. And when Funimation took over, they redubbed it all, which makes sense because they probably legally had to. And when they redubbed everything, they started it over from the beginning, and I'm like, it felt like it took forever to get this to Crocodile. I don't want to rewatch this from the beginning again. And I know everyone says One Piece is really good, but I don't have the patience, and especially now it's like, what, 250 trillion episodes long or something? It takes like 2 human lifespans to watch through it. I'm not sure if I have the patience to watch One Piece. I think I'd rather read it, and that's an undertaking on its own too. Come on. There we go. There's kind of a nice, like, cycle you can get them in here. There we go. That's what I was trying to get. You get Chameleon Sting. 4 Kids literally broke entire plot lines with their crazy edits, so redub and re-release makes a lot of sense, but sucks for those who had been watching up to that point. Yeah, no, like, I'm, for the sake of accuracy, oh, story time, hold on, chat. Finally, we found Sigma's fortress. Let's go in and put an end to his war against the humans. Alright. we are not going to do that, because just for funsies, we're going to go get the Hadouken. But I need to go lose all my continues here real quick. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to get down here into one of these spike pits. Or just empty pits, as it were. So I want to have that reset back to 5 lives. There we go. How many? Did I have 3 lives? Okay. Guess so. Yeah, for the sake of continuity and, you know, fixing broken plot points and etc., like, redubbing makes perfect sense. But at the same time, yeah, it's like, there's a lot of episodes. And I probably would have followed it if it hadn't gone that way. Oh, shoot, I thought... Huh. I just sworn I needed more lives for this trip. Alright, well, we'll just kind of go for it and see what happens. Hopefully I'm not in for any surprises, chat. That guy's an insta-kill, so you have to be a little careful around him. Yeah, you can kill him with the, you know, X-Buster. It's not terrible, but it does take quite a few hits. The fire, the flamethrower is kind of like a quick kill on him, though, which is why I like to use it. I don't watch too much anime anymore. Not because I don't enjoy it, but I just don't have the time. There's occasionally things I still want to, like, enjoy that I've heard good things about, so usually I'll just pick up the manga and read it. And by pick up, I mean, like, manga's expensive. I go to the library, just check it out. And most recently I did that with, oh, what is it? Delicious in Dungeon, which was a lot of fun. Have several on your list you need to check out, yeah? Yep. But, you know, the nice thing about reading it is, like, you know, I can read a, you know, a standard kind of like shonen or whatever in like a couple, you know, like 30 minutes. And so, for example, Delicious in Dungeon, I think, is like 16-ish volumes, so, you know, reading a couple volumes at a time, and I was able to just get through it in 8 days and be done with it. And I really enjoyed it. Alright, chat, so it's probably gonna look weird, but we're getting here, and then we're jumping off the cliff. Because there's a secret in the game. Yes, intentional death. Oh! Whoops. I don't think that'll impact it, but that was kind of dumb of me. I don't think I ruined it. Speaking of slowdown, though, this game does have a little bit, and here's an example of it. we'll see how this goes. You see that flamethrower really does do wonders. The other nice part of this too is that it does give me an opportunity to get a little bit of a couple refills for my sub tank. Kind of helps with that. Okay, I think I screwed this up, chat. We'll give it one more try. Since I'm not really going to be using it and I just kind of want to get it for fun anyway, it's probably not that big of a deal. But ultimately, if I understand correctly, first off, I thought I started off with more lives, but you get to that point, you have to have collected all the other items. And I think where I might have failed was that I had died prematurely in that one spot. And I didn't think it would affect it. But you get to there, jump off the cliff, and then on your very last life there will be a little something special. It's a lot of fun, if wholly unnecessary. We'll do get in front of this thing this time. Come on. Yeah, eventually he falls into that pit. But yeah, I need to, like I said, fill up these sub-tanks anyway, so a little bit of backtracking and enjoying this cool soundtrack. Who cares, right? And that actually worked out pretty good. That was kind of silly. Well, I think we only have to get here. I don't think we have to be up on that ledge. But again, if it turns out that I'm wrong, I'll just continue on. Wasn't planning on using it anyway. Which is, yeah, good that we're stopping here, I think, for pretty soon anyway, chat. Because I am really tired. I'm realizing that more and more with each passing second. There we go, chat. Notice Dr. Light in his Ryu getup. I give you a special present. Now enter the capsule, please. So, this gives X the Hadouken, which you initiate with the exact same inputs you would on Street Fighter. It is a one. You can only do it when you're at full health, but it is a one-hit kill for everything, including bosses. So, but hey, we have it. Just what I wanted. Okay, so There we go. I think that'll let us restart. However, just in case, chat, just in case I'm wrong, we're going to take a little quick snapshot of that code. Alright. We'll stop here so we can kind of listen to this cool music as our outro. Chat, as always, thank you so much for being here. You are genuinely appreciated, and I mean that truly from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for enjoying one of my favorite SNES games with me. We'll finish it up next time. Hopefully, depending on how well I do fighting against Sigma. As always, if you feel so inclined, you should totally follow me here on Twitch. I'm trying to get up to that magic 50 number so that I can become a Twitch affiliate. If you feel more inclined, you should also follow me on Blue Sky and subscribe on YouTube. Blue Sky has announcements for streams, schedule changes, sometimes updates on what's coming up, like upcoming scheduling. I also will post my VODs onto YouTube reasonably quickly after streaming. This one will probably be sometime tomorrow or more likely Monday. But I'm trying to be good about no more than about a 48-hour delay for posting VODs. So yeah, if you'd like, you should check me out on other platforms. If you liked what you saw here tonight, you should go check out some of those old streams. Again, thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your weekend. Hope you had a great Saturday night. Hope to see you again soon. Bye, chat.